This is your Critérium du Dauphiné 2024 preview. In this video, I'll be previewing the upcoming Critérium du Dauphiné, which is an 8-day stage race starting on the 2nd of June, taking part in the Dauphiné region in southeast of France. This year's race is the 76th edition of the race, which is very much seen as one of the biggest tune-ups for the Tour de France. The 8 stages include a mixture of flat stages for the sprinters, some hilly stages which should favour the breakaway, some monstrous mountain stages for the GC riders, and even a time trial thrown in for good measure. Stage 1, which takes place in Saint-Pourçain-sur-Sioule, is a sprinter's paradise, and it would be incredibly difficult to see anything other than a sprint finish to kick things off. The second stage from Ganat to Col de la Loge, rather unsurprisingly, is the first summit finish of the race with a 17-kilometre climb averaging 3.7% gradient and kicking up to 8.9% at its steepest. A great chance for the GC contenders to make a statement early on in the race. Stage 3 is the longest stage of the race at just over 181 kilometres and on paper looks to be a great stage for a breakaway victory. The time trial comes on stage 4, which is likely to be contested by the GC favourites, although with a few TT specialists in the field it could be an open stage. Stage 5 from Arnes-Pleupuy to St Priest is the last stage for the sprinters before the race heads to the mountains for the final 3 days. Stage 6 includes a Category 4 climb, the Côte de la Côte Saint-Angély, which averages 6.7% for 1.8 kilometres, then a Category 2 climb, the Col de Grenier, which averages 5.4% but for 8.9 kilometres, and then the stage finishes atop Le Collet de Alevard, which is an 11.2 kilometre climb averaging 8.1% but reaching heights of 12.7% gradient. And stage 7 doesn't ease up as the race travels from Albertville to Samoise, taking in 3 Category 1 climbs, including the longest climb of the day, the Col de la Ramaz, which is 13.9 kilometres in length and averages 7.1%. The final summit of the stage, an odd category climb, the Samoise, which is 10 kilometres long, averages 9.3% and ticks up to 23% in some parts. The last stage of the race starts at dawn and includes no less than 3 Category 1 climbs, finishing with the longest, the Col de Guiers, at 9.4 kilometres and an average gradient of 7.1%, and it reaches 15% at times. The 2024 start list for the race is absolutely stacked with some of the very best talent, which should make for a very entertaining race as they all try to get a feel as to their form ahead of the Tour de France. Remco Evenepoel makes his return to racing after his horrific crash in the Basque Country, which also took out Primož Roglic, who will also be returning to racing this weekend. The 2 riders will be vowing to don the yellow jersey and lay rest any concerns that they won't be in tip-top shape ahead of the Tour de France. It will be Evenepoel's Critérium du Dauphiné debut, whereas Roglic is a former winner of the race, winning the 2022 edition ahead of his then teammate Jonas Vingegaard. And whilst Vingegaard will be absent from this year's race, as he is also recovering from the same crash which injured Remco and Roglic, his Killer Bee teammates Sepp Kuss and Matteo Jorgensen will be targeting the win and hoping to make it 3 years on the bounce that Visma Lease bike team have won the Critérium du Dauphiné. Kuss, who is riding the highs of winning the Vuelta last year, will be looking to regain his incredible form, and Jorgensen will be looking to add to his Dwars door Vlaanderen win back in March. And Primož Roglic won't be the only rider from Bora Hansgrohe capable of winning at the Critérium du Dauphiné, as both Alexander Vlasov and former Giro winner Jai Hindley will be joining Roglic on the start line. We also have Carlos Rodriguez representing the Ineos Grenadiers, Juan Ayuso looking to build on Pogacar's Giro win and bring back more victories for UAE Team Emirates, David Gaudu representing France and Groupama FDJ, Felix Gall bringing in the momentum of Decathlon AG2R, and the Brit and former Giro winner Tao Geoghegan-Hart representing Lidl Trek. As I said earlier, the start list is absolutely littered with incredible riders, so many in fact that I simply couldn't list them all on this video, but it should make for some great racing over a short 8-day period, which I feel sometimes brings out the best in the riders, given that they only have 8 days to make an impact on a race instead of the usual 3 weeks of a Grand Tour. With plenty of climbing, they will all need to bring their best legs and hopefully find their form in Dauphiné.